Everybody on? Are we clear? Good. Yo, look like everybody on. Yo, good people. It is your homie HerbMan, busting you back upside the head with another hot banger. Bigger. Please go tell somebody to go tell somebody your homie HerbMan is on. And if you're new to the program, welcome. Please follow, like, share, and subscribe on all the platforms at Love HerbMan. All right. So I am your neighborhood holistic practitioner. I'm none other than your homie HerbMan. All we do here is simply teach people how to heal themselves. All right. And so you cannot heal yourself if you do not know thyself. So we're going to teach you about the human frame and the human design so that you guys can be well on your way to the happiness, wholeness, and the wellness you so surely deserve. All right. So this is a free information station. You guys don't have to pay for anything that you hear here today. All you simply got to do is pay attention. And how we do that on the HerbMan show is by double tapping that screen to getting us up to that 100K that we always like to do. I work for my food, you work for yours. Let's interact together and let's learn. How can you heal yourself? In so many different ways, I've shown you guys and taught you guys the multifaceted ways that you can produce your own medicine. And the medicine that we're teaching you how to produce is coming from a change of mind, of how you perceive life to be, understanding how you can use your sufferings as transformative events in your life, and you can get from one thing to the next. Okay, if you're never sick, how could you ever claim that you got healed? If you're never broke, how could you claim what's the testimony? What's the test in your life? What is this thing that you started from and you matured through? What was your infantry stage? And then how did you graduate? How did you mature? How did you develop from that? So a lot of times the things that we is our infantry stage, elementary kind of thing that we got to deal with to get over. And you might come in where your infantry stage is finances. And you're going to have to learn in your infantry stage, in your growth and development stage, how to produce something that's important to your life today, which is financial. And you got to do this at infantry stage. But then some people ain't got that problem. There's other people that come into the paradigm, and abuse can be the infantry stage. Social issues can be the infantry stage off the rip that they got to work through in their growth and development stages. So the bottom line is everything is all about how you are perceiving, and then also how sensitive you can be to the environment well enough to be able to navigate, circumvent, duck and dodge all of the things that you need to duck and dodge in order to feel the abundance and the bliss of this moment in time. So we ask you guys the question. You could want the right thing, but at the wrong time, right? And you gotta understand the valuable essence of timekeeping, understanding how to know time, meaning be time sensitive, not necessarily bound to time, but also being understanding of the time element to where you are able to alleviate the stress that time puts on your life. Okay? Because really what we're talking about is nervous systems. Okay, your nervous system. And I said systems, but your nervous system. Okay, you have what I like to call two nervous systems. You guys keep tapping. I'm gonna keep on talking. You guys keep tapping. We already at 1,000, so we might as well go and get into it, man. Everybody want it. Everybody want it. Everybody want it. We might as well get into it. You understand me? We might as well get into it. So if you guys have never heard this before, this is going to be very important and conducive. Now, I want you to come into the room and make sure that you're taking breaths, okay? Deep breath in the nose, hum it out. Deep breath in the nose. Hum it out. Now let's rock and roll, okay? The two different nervous systems, the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system. These two things are biologically what you know to be the autonomous nervous system. But they also represent Chronos and Kairos. Masculine and feminine, the duality, the egos, all of this stuff is the same stuff. Chronos is time, is law, is systems. And it don't mean that anything is necessarily wrong with that, but this is going to keep you in sympathetic. Okay? Chronos is measured. It's linear. It's mechanical. Again, it's stressful. It's capitalistic. When you feel like you're running out of time. This is the ultimate fight or flight state of being. And this is what's keeping us sick. And then you have this Kairos time. This is something that is not constituted by the time that we're talking about. This is more cyclical. This is more felt. This is more intuitive. This is more heart-centered. Okay? This is more about the moment than the minute. This Kairos or Kairos is more about the moment than the minute. It's more about the purpose-driven life, the seasonal synchronization. Is when you're in the right place at the right time. And so that's the most important thing to learn about, is how to feel your way through, not always how to schedule and plan your way through. Because that's when disappointment happens. And Kairos is not a metaphysical thing, it's also neurological. It activates when the nervous system, when these two things enters coherence. All right? Kairos is the parasympathetic. Felt. Okay? And when you're feeling something, then this is going to extend beyond the law. When you feel something, sometimes that'll extend beyond the systems. And that's why spirit and science, another two brothers, are so important to work together. Because too much of science is too stressful. And so sometimes you got to understand how to balance the two in order to evolve, in order to really be in a homostatic situation. When they enter into coherence, you're out of survival mode. But to understand Kairos, you must begin with the brain. Like digestion, like every other thing, it's all about the mind, okay? It's all about the mind. Remember that we're not talking about the minute, but the moment, okay? We're not emphasizing the minute, but the moment. Let me put that up here. We're no longer calculating life from the minutes, but the moments. We're no longer looking at the clock. We're no longer doing the ticking, the talking, because we're not looking at the minutes, You don't want to be programmed by the minutes. You want to understand how to get this through the moments. Okay? Y'all get that? Put some ones in the chat if you guys get what we're talking about. Keep tapping you guys out. Keep talking. We're not talking about the minutes, but the moments. Kairos emerges when the brain shifts from beta into alpha. And beta is the stress and where the thinking is at. And so when Kairos emerges, when the moments emerge, the stress and the heavy thinking goes away. Wow. And so beta is going to be Chronos. But you know, we're trying to get you from theta, we're trying to get you from alpha to gamma, really. I'm trying to get you from alpha to gamma, but that's over here. Okay, that's over there in Kairos. Beta is tracking the clock, watching the minutes, overthinking, rushing, fragmented attention, a linear logic. Beta. But when you enter into alpha and theta and so forth, you have a deep presence. Thank you guys for the likes and the shares. Thank you guys for the tapping. You have a deep presence and you have a timelessness. You have creativity. You got clear intention. When you switch over to Kairos, you have a heightened awareness. So in Kairos, time feels slower because the brain is processing the information with less resistance and more coherence. This is why the monks and the elites and the athletes and the musicians and the mystics, you see people slipping into Kairos naturally. You heard what I just said, right? You see how they can slip into Kairos naturally. And so what we're trying to teach you is these ways. You guys look, you can heal yourself. Your body can heal yourself. There are simple things that you're just not doing because you're too freaking stressed out due to the system in which you live in. They got it over here in Africa. They got it in America. Stress is on all human life. And if you don't understand how to reprogram your view of this particular stressful environment, it will come to a designation that you want life. That's all I'm trying to teach you. And you don't, medications ain't the mediator. Meditation ain't even the mediator. You don't need to be somewhere meditating. You still ain't watching. You still are not aware. Unless you can do that, that's fine. But my point to you is that soak it in with your eyes wide open and your heart wide open and understand that life ain't about what it is that you've been programmed. And so there's something that you can seek beyond the work mind. There's something that you can seek beyond the consumer mind. Everybody want a business. Everybody want to be rich. Everybody want to be this. There's more to this shit. Kairos activates. I like to say Kairos activates when the heart rhythm becomes coherent. And we know that that coherent heart is where the marriage is at, between your parasympathetic and your sympathetic nervous system. How do you relax them? Why do we get sick? We get sick because we're overstimulated in one of these areas. You're either overstimulated here or overstimulated here, which will cause a sickness. Well, what do they give you in order to repair the sickness? They balance these two. That's all they do. The medications that they giving you ain't doing nothing but balance these two. And a lot of times how they do that is just basically taking them offline. And when you take the overstimulation or the understimulation offline, then guess what? It stops the sickness. Duh, that's an easy fix. So that's why you got so many people trying to get your nervous system to relax, because they know that when the nervous system relax, then guess what? The sickness goes away. But it's all about how you can produce. Okay, so damn, he just told me that that's what they doing. So I can control my own medicine. Because you can produce your own medicine and start consuming what you produce if you want to be a consumer. The heartbeat synchronizes the whole body. It synchronizes your breathing. Your breathing affects your heartbeat. The vagus nerve starts to relax and loosen. You get this emotional clarity, which is what we need. You get this introception about things, which is also what we need. You get this electrical signaling going on, which is also what we need. When the heart enters coherence, my people, it sends the signal to the brain that time is safe now. Safe. Stop living in the world by minutes, clocking in and out, watching the clock of life. What time it is for your show? What time it is to go to bed? What time it is to wake up in the morning? What time it is to go to school? What time it is to clock in? What time it is to clock out? Watching the clock while you in school. Watching the clock while you at work. Watching the phone while you at work. Watching the time go by. You're wasting minutes because you're living by minutes. And I'm saying create moments. Don't live by the minute. Because when you do this, it'll shift you from urgency to presence, survival to perception. You'll shift from fear to intuition. Now that's the one we want. You can shift from contraction to expansion. So even here with the parasympathetic nervous system, the gut is going to contract. Right? So you got one part of the stomach that'll contract while the other part will open up at the sphincter. And then you got sympathetic right here where the stomach will expand while the other part constricts. Then you can't let nothing out because ain't nothing coming out the sphincter. So in the sympathetic, then you're not eliminating. If you just know how the body works, you'll see what we're trying to teach you. From contraction to expansion, from expansion to contraction, they must be in balance. Kairos, and they got to work together. Kairos is the body's natural state when you're not under stress. And this is why we're trying to teach you how stress can destroy intuition. Somebody put that in the chat. Stress can destroy intuition. Because that's really what my ultimate goal is, to get you back spiritual, to get you back dreaming, to get you back imagining, to get you back creative, to get you back spiritual enough, intuitive enough, and discerning enough to go get your answer for your problem to your life and bring it back into reality. I'm trying to get you to dream it, imagine it, create it. I'm trying to get you to develop it. I'm trying to get you to be intuitive and discerning and sensitive enough to it that when you do dream it, when you do draw it, when you do create it, when it's there, that you know how to go get it and bring it into reality. So it doesn't stay a dream. So your life doesn't stay just a goal. So your life doesn't stay just a plan on a piece of paper, but you are living your life. And stop hating and getting mad at somebody else because they live in there. Because you can't do what you want to do. That's your body. That's your bad, your fault. And also understand that Kairos is also felt in the 7 waters that we teach you about. So it's felt down into the fluid systems of the body. Remember that when your water gets stagnant, time is going to feel heavy. You can feel depressed. You can feel fatigued. You can feel stuck. You can feel hopeless. When the water is stagnant, time feels heavy. But when the water can flow and the obstruction is removed, time feels open. This is, again, when you are creative, when you are joyful, insightful, when your energy is high. You ever met people, man, that when you get with them, they energy so high, they be willing to do anything and everything? Yes, sir. You want to get back to that. Those when the possibilities become real. You see? This is when your cerebral spinal fluid flow. It affects intuition and spiritual perception. Kairos going to help with that. Your lymph flow affects emotional processing. Kairos is going to help with that. Blood flow affects time and rhythm in the body. So you must know that time is not outside of you. Time is how fluid moves inside of you. And when you got this thing going on inside of you, it's not going by the biological clock on the wall. The biological clock doesn't go by the clock on the wall. Let me repeat that. Your biological clock does not go by the minutes. Put it in the chat. Your biological clock is not determined by the minutes. Oh, and that's the programming right there. Your biological clock doesn't go by the one on the wall. No, it don't. Your biological clock does not go by the one on the wall. And you're around here talking about, oh, when 50, I'm getting my menopause, and then 50, and everything is about the minute. You can't live everlasting life. You can't live eternity watching the clock. You can't have longevity worried about when time to go. You can't be in heaven watching clock. It's got to be somewhere you want to be. It's got to be somewhere where you don't mind being all day. See, heaven is a place where there's no lack. There's no reason to clock out. There's no reason to watch the clock. There's no reason to have systems and laws and statutes. There's no reason for time in a heavenly consciousness. So you have minerals that also are provided in Kairos. Okay? That are conducting internal time. And your minerals determine how the body conducts these electrical signals, these hormonal pulses, these circadian rhythms, these intuition waves, these emotional cycles. Minerals help the body conduct those. So you got magnesium, potassium, sodium, silica, calcium. All of these are the true timekeepers in biology. Okay, they are the true timekeepers in biology, you guys. All right. So you got to understand that, because when you got deficiencies of these particular things, then you can have time distortion in the body, anxiety, fatigue, poor decision making. Remember, poor decision timing. I want the right thing, but always at the wrong time. So I end up losing the thing that I want, or I end up not getting the thing that I really want. I need money. Nature knows I need money. The system sees I need money. That's not wrong to need the money, but I'm wanting time in my life. Well, what is the wrong time to want some money? It's when you can't be financially a good steward over the small little money you're getting. You ain't dead yet, so somebody getting some money. And if you're frivolous over the little stuff, why would somebody give you something even more? But it is he who knows how to be a good steward over the least of things. And when you start saving pennies, you'll start saving dollars. And when you start saving dollars, you'll start saving $5. And when you start saving them $5 bills, you'll start saving them tens. And when you learn how to save tens, you start saving 20s. And when you get to saving 20s, you start saving hundreds. And when you start getting good at saving hundreds, then you start saving thousands. And then when you get good at the thousand keeping, next thing you know, you got millions. This is why the owner's manual is the best health assessment on the planet today. The herbs that we have in the Panacea blend is crucial for activating Kairos. It gives the body the minerals that are needed to feel time the way it should be felt. You need to feel it. Okay? And then you also got Kairos in the hormones. Okay? You got time in the hormones. Understanding that hormones control whether this is going to happen. And the key hormones that decide whether this is going to happen for you, you should know one of them to be cortisol. It comes to you in an email format, Shirley. Email format. So you can keep it printed out, laminated, put it with your birth certificate and all your most important paperwork. It'll be coincide with just everything else. And then anytime you get into your time of need or anytime you just want to know thyself more, study yourself. That's where the owner's manual comes in. And we put a lot of this information, most of this information is in there. Okay? Cortisol, you guys, is a chronos thing, as we should know. Okay? Cortisol is, you need it, but you don't need a chronic dose of it. So cortisol makes time feel rushed. Cortisol makes time feel heavy. I'm gonna be honest with you, cortisol makes time stressful. And your cortisol is gonna rise with you over there overthinking, can't sleep, stressed out about time law systems in your life. I gotta pay it next week. They're gonna come get it tomorrow. The mail don't run to Thursday. Cortisol rises when you're unsure, when you're fearful. And cortisol is going to rise in capitalistic environments. Okay? And this is going to be where you start to break down the body. So I'm giving you everything here because I'm giving you the friends and the enemies. And you got to learn how to balance the two within. And if you can balance the two within, they become friendly to you. But if you get unbalanced, they can become enemies to you. If you allow these things in you to become friends, marry one another, never disagree within you, that's everlasting life. That's longevity. That's harmonious heaven on earth. That's everything you've ever read. Okay? Melatonin is the Kairos at night. Melatonin controls the dream, the intuition, the memory integration. And deep Kairos emerges in the deep dream state. So again, if we can get you to get in over there, you'll find the answer and bring it back to your real life scenario. Medication can't do that. Meditation is trying to teach you how to do that. You also can produce the dopamine and the serotonin. This is Kairos during the day. Because this creates the flow states, joy, clarity, synchronicity. Balance equals natural timing. But when you get your dopamine to spike too high, like from social media and from chaos all around you, then Kairos totally collapse. When your serotonin drops too low, that's depression. That's when time collapses. Hormonal balance is something like time perception, how you perceiving. And that's why we're trying to shift it from the minutes to the moments so that your hormones can come into balance. And when your hormones come into balance, you might not even get the premenstrual syndrome. When your hormones come into balance, you might not even need to worry about PCOS. When your hormones come back into balance, when your harmony comes back into balance, you might not even worry about painful labor. When your hormones, the harmony comes back into balance, you might not even worry about the sex life. When your hormones come back into balance, and when the harmony comes back, you ain't even got to worry about diabetes and digestive issues. And hormonal balance is time perception. So how I perceive this time, this man is saying that if you can change your perception, you change everything in you. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Kairos can definitely turn on the switch of the vagus nerve. It allows the heart rate to slow. What's going on, YouTube? Keep tapping you guys out. Keep talking. It allows your digestion to improve. Okay? Inflammation drops. Emotional clarity increases and increases and increases. Intuition going to continue to rise. And perceptual time starts to expand. This is what we like to call the biological doorway to Kairos. That's why when we teach you these subtle tension relievers, y'all go back and watch these videos that we're showing you. When we're teaching you these secrets, which is so simple, and you thinking, why them folk just don't let us do this? Because you doing this is you being free. This is law. This is freedom. And you know these folk don't want you to have no freedom. But our subtle tension relievers that we're showing you are perfect. Every one of them helps stimulate the vagus nerve in what we call micro doses. And we're going to go over a few more today because I know y'all like it when we go through those little things. So we'll do a few more today to show you these little subtle tension relievers, okay, that you can do. All right. But also understanding your seasons of life, knowing where you are in the paradigm, okay, is just as efficient as anything else, okay? Just like cells have cycles, you guys, humans have seasons, all right? Just like you have cells have cycles, you go through things as seasons, okay? And Kairos is just coming from when you get aligned. Some of you guys are aligned. Some of you guys are Pisces, but are now in Virgo, right? Some of you guys are in for Aries, but you're just arriving in Libra. So guess what? These are opposing things, but these bring the seasons, and that's an alignment because you're right across from me. But when you ignore the seasons, when you ignore what we're offering we can't advance as a people and understand cosmology mixed with biology is the evolution of mankind. We can't understand that. And when you ignore your season, You make wrong decisions. You feel the resistance of life. Opportunities start to disappear. Relationships that you want start to collapse around you. And stress just continue to keep coming by the multiples. Chronos is when you're trying to cram and force everything into the minutes. But Kairos is when you allow the moment. Chronos is when you're trying to force everything into the minutes of life. You just in a hurry, got to do this, that, and the third, stressing yourself out. That's not a heavenly consciousness. But Kairos wants you to allow the moment, not force the minute. Allow things to emerge. That's why we are doing these breathing techniques and these stress things for you so that you'll understand how to relieve the chaos not only around you, but also we got so much going on inside of us, chaotic. The cells, the blood, the lymph, the acid to alkalinity, all this stuff is chaotic within us. But when you get into this homeostatic, we're teaching you, the body becomes precise antenna for everything. When you get into this thing that we're trying to teach you, your body becomes a precise antenna for this intuition, this creativity, this imagination, this synchronicity, this timing, for this direction, this opportunity, this purpose that you're seeking. I'm just trying to show you how to make it feel like heaven. And sick folk ain't in heaven. The healed ones are. Broke folk can't go to heaven. Rich people in heaven. Because it's not a place, it's a state of being. Kairos is not magic. It's a biological state of perfect inner timing. And we're just trying to show you why cosmology is even a part of this thing. It's because of this thing called time. And when you start seeing that nature got you under control, but you're ignorant of nature control. And so you're forcing your will over nature's will. And that's fine, but how you gonna learn? So you got the will, and that's fine, but do you know where you're going? So nature give you the will with no GPS, because the GPS of nature ain't like the one in your car and on your phone. You don't know when the murderer gonna come, when the rapist gonna come, when the car accident gonna come. You don't know when the job gonna fire you. You don't know when you're gonna lose the house, the spouse, or the family member. You don't know that. And those are the mountains and the valleys and those are the things in your life. You got the wheel and don't know where you're going. And so your thing can get you halfway. But what if I told you that the map got you supposed to go all the way here? But we keep burning out. Because when you don't know where you're going, you tap the car called the body, the vehicle. And you tearing up the car because you don't know where you're going. You never ever finish the route. Perfect entertainment. Perfect entertainment. And so we taught you guys about how to lower the jaw really quick. Just lower your jaw 1 to 2 centimeters. Learn how to do this I do this all the time now. Just lower the jaw. And then when you lower your jaw, I want you to also see that your tongue is at the top of your roof and drop the tongue. And then also drop your shoulders. So it's just going to be like, I'll just relieve it real quick. Vagus nerve activation. You just did it. The exhaling that we do in the nose and out of the mouth. Hum it out. Allows you to exhale longer than you inhale. Instant Chronos to Kairos shift. Remember, we told you to stop locking in on life with your eyes. Soften your eyes. How do I soften my eyes, HerbMan? Somebody put soften my eyes in the chat real quick. Soften your eyes. And this is really going for a lot of young people. Losing eyesight young. You got to learn how to soften your eyes. Okay, we're going to show you how to soften your eyes. Well, I'm going to teach you how to soften your eyes. Put it like this. So many of us are so microscopic. We focus on every single thing that we're looking at, right? But I want you to back out of what you're trying to do and just start to pay attention to your surroundings. Peripheral, the things around you. Okay? So don't put the phone down and then just start looking outside. And don't focus on nothing. Just look at everything. Don't focus on nothing. Just look at everything. Don't focus on nothing. If you got to keep moving your eyes, but don't focus on one thing to see what it is. Just look at everything. Take everything in. Just look at the sky, the clouds, look at the snow, look at the sun, look at the water, look at your children. Don't focus. That's softening. When you can pull out, then you just activated time dilation. Putting your hand over your heart, rubbing the heart will settle the heart and bring heart coherence. If you can sit with both feet on the ground, that's grounding. With your butt and your feet on the ground. Sit with both feet on the ground. Grounding. If you can put your hand over your stomach and start to rub it and hum with the breathing techniques, it'll start to relax your belly. This shuts off survival mode. You need to make sure that you're drinking really good mineral water. Okay? Your water need to have something in it. Can't be distilled or purified. Those are great cleaning agents, but you ain't always in cleansing mode. Your water must have food in it, because this is going to improve electrical timing. The humming all day activate the vagal tone and the heart rhythm. And then start asking yourself, what season am I in? The brother is teaching about seasons. And you can do all that stuff at work, in traffic, with the kids, in conflict, in the middle of conflict, right? Just as long as somebody ain't swinging on you, right? While planning things, during anxiety. This is how you participate in your own healing. You ain't waiting on no medication. You ain't waiting on no x-ray. You ain't waiting on no herb. You ain't waiting on no nothing. You are being preventative, because we know that prevention is cheaper than the cure. And this man sitting here teaching you that if you just can stay in bliss some way, somehow, then this is how modern humans reclaim their natural flow. This is how you reclaim your natural timing ability. Okay? You got to understand that. You guys keep tapping, I'm going to keep talking. So the purpose is the moments. The purpose is for this, is for you to be able to make the right decision. Somebody put that in the chat, please. The purpose of Kairos, the purpose of this thing is to make correct decisions. You can go from broke to rich by making correct decisions. You can go from sick to healed by making correct decisions. You can go from lonely to a community and a family that you so deserve if you make correct decisions. Kairos also helps you sense danger before it happens to you. Kairos knows when to act and it knows when to wait. Kairos moves with the seasons. So you stay in tune, stay locked in, stay aligned. Kairos is going to be when your opportunities come, when you fulfill your purpose. If you live long, if you stay coherent, it can help you avoid unnecessary suffering. It can help you restore and regain everything that you've lost if you know how to stay in the right time. Kairos is a timekeeping system of the body and soul. Chronos is artificial. It's the program. It's the AI. Chronos is artificial time. It's artificial. It's the AI. It's the program. But Kairos is divine biology. Okay? The purpose of Kairos is to stay in bliss. Yes, King Tut. The purpose of this life is to stay in bliss. That's your biggest challenge. The challenge is, I'm going to do all of this shit around you, and can you still stay in bliss? You got all this stuff around you. Will you allow anything to create separation between you and God? So that's what you got to understand. You got to understand how to shift time. We've been taught too long that time is something outside of us. Time is not outside of you. Yes, time is fixed. It's mechanical. It's always, running out. But biologically, you guys, time is internal. Okay? Time is internal. Time is a state of the nervous system. Somebody said, I'm 54 years old. I wish I knew this a long time ago. I get that all the time, right? Shit, I wish I knew it. I wish I knew it. You feel what I'm saying? So I get you, I got you. But the thing is that everything happens in what? So remember that I tell you, this is not a movement. Well, this is not a moment. This is a movement. And a movement is creating moments together. Okay? Chronos is man-made. And most people live in this particular state. That's why we feel so stressed and rushed and late and overwhelmed and disconnected every 5 minutes. But Kairos is when your life is going to open up. Some of us have experienced this stuff already. So time is an illusion. Yes, because time is what you have created under this particular paradigm. Because again, man's life rose through seasons. The sea sons, right? The sons of the sea, light and water. Okay. So because we are going through sea sons, and you have 4 sea sons. 4 sea sons, meaning that when the sun is shining over the sea, it will create this environment called winter. Y'all, come on, somebody. Do you understand this stuff? It is not rocket science. That when the sun shines over this part of the sea, it gives you summer. That mixture of that sunlight with that water creates an environment that incubates the living organisms within it. You see? So we got time from watching the sea suns. And we start to grow up in time. And just like anything else, you put a name on it and called it time. But Kairos, that's when timing becomes perfect. That's when intuition becomes loud. That's when your purpose becomes clear. I'm living in Kairos. Every single day, I'm appreciative because I'm going to be able to leave here knowing that this stuff is true. Knowing it, not believing it. The body knows when it's the right time. And we just got to understand how to stay in the moment. Okay? Stay in the moment. Any questions? This is my first time on your live. Welcome, Eminem. Welcome to the best show on the planet when it comes to your health and your wealth, okay? And both of these are the same thing. So once we teach you how to grow anything, you can grow anything. And we're just showing you guys how to grow something, how to produce something, how to put a seed in, and then how to sow it. And you've been doing this with negative energy. And you're creating that negative patterns. And you've been doing this with some of the good stuff that you ran into in your life. When you got positive energy, things happen to you good. When you got negative energy, you know the end result. So you've been in the garden. But then I come across your garden and say, well, if you've already grown different habits, why can't you grow the goals? Man, I'm trying to sit still talking to y'all doing this thing, okay? It'll be hard for me to see that all you can grow is bad habits. It'll be hard for me to see that all you can grow is bad luck. Because I'm looking at the fact that, damn, you can at least grow something. And that's why yesterday speaking life was so important. Your words. I heard Mike Epps say the other day that these two brothers is right. The one that say they can't and the one that say they can. Both of them correct. Because when you say you can't, you won't. And when you say you can, you will. Okay? This is what we're doing. Getting you out of that scheduled mindset, that pressured chronos, getting you out of that survival based, because we can't heal you there. We're trying to get you into this seasonal, this timelessness. And we know that we can do it. Balance is peace. Yes, sir. Any questions thus far? I know we just been rocking and rolling, but any questions thus far? Thank you guys for the taps. Thank you for the likes, the gifts. Thank you for everything. Okay? I love my people, man. Where I have been, you have sent me. What I got, you have given me. And who I am, you have made me. So I ain't never got no problem loving my people. Never got no problem loving my people. How do you not let another person being shift you into chronos? Because you got to be able, so the thing about it is you got to know thyself, hey? So if you have attachment or addiction tendencies, it's going to be hard to let go of a lot of stuff to get you out of chronos. And you can call it a person, place, or a thing. So it's not the person, place, or things that is stopping you. So you say, how do you not let another person being shift you into chronos, right? So what I'm trying to get you to understand is that you are the only way something outside of you can shift you is because you don't quite yet learn or know how to respond properly to the environmental stimuli. There are always going to be lions, tigers, and bears. Okay, and so the fact of the matter is, we are being slaughtered like sheep in the slaughter because we don't have the right survival tools. Okay, for the lion, tigers, and bears that come into your life, it's not going to be no animal. You already conquered that, but you can't conquer people. So at the end of the day, that's the biggest task. Another person that got 2 arms and 2 legs and 2 eyes and a mind just like you is going to be your biggest challenge. So therefore, it's your response to the stimuli. If you respond appropriately to these people, they cannot shift you out of Chronos. You see what I'm trying to get you to see? It's your response. Only thing that you can control is how you respond. I'm sick. The only thing I can control now, because I'm sick now. They don't fuck around and tell me I got cancer, diabetes, AIDS, HIV, herpes, whatever it is. I got it now. So the only thing I can do is control how I respond to the sickness. I can't go beat up the doctor. I can't go do nothing. I can't go put my hand and then pull the cancer out. So it's in there. I got it. So then what you got to do? How are you going to respond? So people can be cancers. How do you respond? Okay? How do you respond? And so you know when you got these things going on. You know when your opportunities multiply, you're in spring. You know when your actions succeed. That's summertime, right? When you manifesting and it's popping. Remember, I showed you guys this yesterday. Spring, it's new stuff, but it's slow. Summer is when you flourish, and that's fast. You're manifesting fast in the summer. You see how you coming down the roller coaster. We know that when you go up the roller coaster, this is a new ride. So it goes slow in the spring of the roller coaster. But then it go fast when it come through summer and fall. And then it'll slow back up when it go up winter towards spring. So this is just how the waves of life is going. So your life is on this roller coaster, and there's nothing that you can do about it. Trump on this motherfucker, and Rico and them on this motherfucker. Everybody on there ain't no Vladimir Putin over there smelling like rotten egg. He over there too on this roller coaster. You can't get off of it until you leave here. And when you leave here, it's a failure of the course. Because your job is to enter course. Your job is to intersect the 2 courses within you. The 2 courses within you is what I call the 2 minds, the 2 egos. If you're Aries, you got Libra in you. If you're Taurus, you got Scorpio in you. If you're a Gemini, you got Sagittarius in you. If you're a Leo, then you got Aquarius in you. If you're a Virgo, you got some Pisces. And you better get to know the other person, because that's the one that's going to either be your enemy or your friend. The enemy to your situations in life. They can buffer you. The other you in you can buffer you from what you want, because you ignorant of the darkness in you. When the sun is shining its brightest in Aries, the darkest place on the earth is in Libra. The 2 suns in you, the light and the dark in you. You get these 2 things, they got to marry each other. But what we do, because we don't learn this, they're studying trying to separate and go their own way. And so you got 2 people fighting in one person for who gonna drive the car. That can't keep on happening. So we got to teach you how to marry Aries to Libra, how to marry Taurus to the Scorpio, how to marry Gemini to the Sagittarius in you. You talking about you're a Gemini, but you just can't get situated and you're traveling all over the world. That ain't got nothing to do with Gemini. Geminis be traveling, they do their thing, but that ain't got nothing to do with Gemini. You see a bunch of Geminis wearing glasses, that ain't got nothing to do with no Gemini. That's the Sagittarius stuff in you. See? When your emotional clarity rises, you could be in fall. When this perception deepens and you get that introception that we're talking about, that's winter. And you got to know that if you ignore these things, that's when stuff gonna fall apart in your life, when we don't know these things. That's why our relationships are misaligned. Okay? Our opportunities misfire. All right? Yes, yes, yes. I had to go. You know how TikTok when you don't know the seasons of life. So that's why the owner's manual has much of a big impact, because we're starting to see people understand better what's going on with them. People are lonely, people are depressed, people are going through a lot of stuff, including myself. But I know these practices. You see, your season determines your timing, and your timing determines your life. So when you don't know how to tell time, yeah, man, you're gonna run into the lion, tiger, and bear, and that's a short life. Okay. Unfortunately, I hear the wild. That's a short life when you stay in infantry and you don't understand, that you're at a battle and you come into the gunfight with a knife, survival skills. Okay. And so then you get people get nicked off, innocent bystanders. Of what? Because of ignorance that they were actually in a war, in a battle, and didn't know it and didn't have themselves together. All right. Say, do this in remembrance of me. That's not about a memory. That's about remembering those things back together again. Remembering is not your memory. Remembering is saying in your memory, remember how to put yourself together. Why you think they call it what they call it? Communion. Communion is what? Community in union, coming together. You're doing blood and you're drinking juice and cracker. That is a coming together. But they are doing it to make you think it's coming apart. It's all a perspective. Okay? It's all a perspective. And once we learn how to change these perspectives and come into this thing, you'll see when you start to shake your hands, y'all can do it with me right now. When you started just be in the room and do this right here, that's a lot of people that got anxiety issues that do this already. Why? Because it helps them relieve their tension. But right now, you can just do it. You guys, you ain't even got to worry about tapping with me. I want you to shake the wrist. If you can do it, just shake your wrist really quick. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. Come on, shake it off. Just shake it. Yeah, don't even worry about it. Just shake it. I know I look crazy. Just shake it. You're going to look crazy. It don't really matter. You're going to be crazy when you get this heavenly consciousness. You're going to be crazy. They're going to call you crazy when you go in there running, talking about some, girl, I had cancer and was not gone. They're going to think you're crazy then. You're going to go in there. They're going to think you're crazy when you run in the house and you done got them hit the lottery because you just went from broke to rich. They're going to think you crazy then. They're going to think you crazy when you went from lonely and didn't want talking to nobody to now over here got 5 children and everything. And they're going to think you're crazy either way it goes. So let's go ahead and make it start now. Yep. You were looking crazy anyway in your sickness. You might as well look crazy in your health. You were looking crazy going down the wrong side of the road anyway. You might as well look crazy going down the right one. You were looking crazy going 100-mile-per-hour playing for the wrong team anyway. You might as well look crazy putting all your energy and playing for the right one. Ain't no need you give me half effort when you're trying to be right. Ain't no need you give me half effort when you're trying to do your best. There's no need to give half when you're finally making up your mind to do the right things in life. I want all of you over here this side. I told you I would be the same brother in your hood selling another herb, okay? But I was going to still be me, okay? Still going to be Cain. So you just let nature use your natural assets, but in a more positive, in a more coherent way. Your body is a time machine. Okay? Your body is a time machine. Your body is your time machine. But I want you to understand, Kairos, we're not talking about some kind of miracle. This is literally a biological state. That's why I come on here teaching y'all this stuff, because it's cosmology and biology, but it's science and spirit. I ain't said nothing that I cannot back up in the body. So we always understand that this ain't, we're not talking hocus pocus. Kairos is a biological state. It appears when your heart is in coherence, when your breathing slows down, when your waters are flowing, the blood, the lymph, the cerebral spinal fluid, the interstitial fluid, the extracellular fluid, the intracellular fluid, and the synovial fluid, the 7 waters, the Pleiades. when your vagus nerve is active, when your seasons are acknowledged, when all of these things are aligned, time can open up for you. Intuition can increase. Clarity will appear. And life will start to synchronize around you and give you what you want. And this is what we call divine timing. And I know y'all ain't never saw that taught like that, but that's how we're going to teach it today. We're exchanging our minutes in for moments. I'm exchanging my minutes in for the moments. How much a moment? How much a moment? We're going to exchange these minutes in for some moments. So they say you got 6 more months left. They say you got a couple of years left. They say you got this and that. We're going to change the minutes for some moments. Okay? That's what we want to do. Any questions thus far? Any questions thus far? Yes, sir. We're going to exchange these minutes for some moments. All right? So when you get your owner's manual, be ready to participate in your own healing. Okay? When you get your owner's manual, be ready to participate in your own healing. And it doesn't matter how old you are, you can do these exercises, these practices. You can do these subtle tension relievers. Okay? You can do them. I know you can. If I can do it, you can do it. All right, we got any questions? Exchanging minutes into moments. There we go, holistic grandma. That's what we're talking about. Do you deliver to Canada? Unfortunately, no, I do not deliver to Canada. But do we do the owner's manual? You can get the owner's manual anywhere on the planet, okay? Because it is a e-format, Melissa. All right, but the herbs, I can't particularly hand them to you myself, but we're going to give you the list of the herbs in your owner's manual. And I know for sure Canada got them because I used to get my herbs from Canada. So when you do get your owner's manual, you can find those herbs, mix them all together, and create your panacea blend. I came in late, but I'm interested in the opposite zodiac sign. Yes. So it's just all about, that's your alter ego. I thought so about the herbs. Jaw release, tongue, soften. Yep, that's it. It'll do it every time, Brandy. Every time. Okay? Yeah, so it doesn't matter where you at. Even if you're in Asia, we wouldn't give you the American herbs. We know the Asian herbs, so we would give you the herbs from that. If you're in the Caribbean and South America and you just want to deal with your herbs, you can't access the American herbs, we will give you the Panacea blend in South American herbs or Caribbean herbs. So if you guys are used to jackass bitters, if you're used to some of these other herbs and stuff, Sarasay and all this type of stuff, then yes, we will give it to you in the herbs, strong back and all that type of stuff. We will give them to you in those herbs. So when you get your owner's manual, if you are out of the country, you definitely want to let us know so that we can create it around your area. Okay, so you can get the herbs in your area. All right. Anything else? Anybody else? You guys keep on tapping. I keep on talking. What with the pay and where to pay for owner manual? Yes, just DM me. Yep, just DM me. How long does your owner manual tea blend last? It's a 30-day supply. Okay, you get a 30-day supply, and it's basically like a 21-day type of detoxification, right? So it's going to take you to 21 days. Then you're going to rest 7, and then it's going to ride back into it, see how you feel and everything like that. So we just call it a 30-day kind of program. But your herbs you get is going to be a 30-day supply of herbs. All right. Anybody else? And so all we do is just get this from your birthday, you guys. All right. So that's all we need. And once we get that, then we'll be able to understand exactly what you got going on in your life. These seasons, though, are very critical. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. Knowing this stuff has helped me out a lot. And, you you can ride the wave. Again, you can't stop different little stumbling blocks and challenges, because again, you're going up and you're coming down. So there's going to be some things going up the hill that you got to watch out for, some things coming down the hill that you got to watch out for. Pace is always going to be one of those biggest things. You can't run down the hill of life, okay, because you'll start to roll. So you got to watch pace, and you can't go up this thing too slow, because then you won't grow and develop. So you got to watch your pace. Pace in this life is everything. That's why I'm telling you, if you share the experience with your spirit and your body. So if you look at it, it's 2 tasks. What are the 2 tasks? Somebody put down the please. What are the 2 tasks visually? So I'm going to show you this visually. It's going to be very simple and very, very, very simple, but very easy to pick up. Okay, what is the actual task? Okay, the actual task. Okay, if you're going to say that this is the higher self and this is the lower self, which is what we teach, your task is to get your body to ascend. Your body. The ascension of the body means be healthy. That's all this is. You need to be healthy, clean. You need to be, the temple needs to be clean. It needs to be healthy. It can't be out of balance. So your job is to get your body healthy, and then allow your spirit, so that you don't get so high-minded. You got to learn how to come down into and marry right here. No, don't come down into, you meet at the heart. So you're bringing your spirit from all this think you know everything to just feel and just love everything. Because when you think you know everything, a lot of times you prejudge and label. That creates what? A particular response. So the spirit is saying, hey, look, you don't have to try to identify everything like that. You can just, if you in the heaven, then you can just come down to love. Don't go down there. Don't go down here to just come down here to love, spirit. And then body, I'm gonna love on my body and raise its consciousness. So I raise the consciousness of my body by keeping it healthy. And then when I do that, now my spirit can be lowered into the body through the heart. Basically, I gotta love this experience. And in loving this experience, I'm going to have a healthy body to house my spirit. And therefore, now with the spirit being in my body at every waking moment and second, and I'm not in the past and I'm not in the future, but I'm in the present moment. This is another but presence. That presence has to be blissful, and you have to have gratitude and have a heavenly experience. You got to feel good about it. But we know how it's created. That's hard. That's why it's the task. That's why it's the task. And the old ancestors, what they've been trying to teach us is that first, what they did was they thought that you should leave the body. So they taught this, but it was just in one way, linear. But it's not linear. We know now we're not linear. So it's not just a straight shoot up. This thing is cyclical. So therefore, it's a bi-directional because it's cyclical. It's like this. Okay? You're going in and out of this spectrum. But through these spirals, which are different levels and different seasons, and they have different things that occur on different lines. So these ain't the same life lessons. So your life will just continue to keep spiraling just like this, and you got to know where you at. Otherwise, you'll spiral out of control, health-wise, financial-wise, and community relational-wise. So it's very important to understand. I need to get my body healthy enough for my spirit to come down in it, so that every waking moment, I'm now having spirit into matter. And therefore, now I am the supernatural human. Now I'm the Superman. Now I am the superwoman living in super. Now everything is abundant. Now, but what makes you super? The change of heart, the change of mind, the change of perspective. Now I know when I get sick, I can be healed. Now I know how to stay away from sickness, though. Now I know how to circumvent the lack, because the lack ain't about money. The lack is about the perception of abundance. Your perception of abundance, you've been programmed that it requires money to measure that. But when we change and renew, you'll see that what do you need money for when you got it all around you? Look around you. If you knew how to build a house, all you need is some trees, not a mortgage. If you look around, if you want a house bad enough, you can build your own without a mortgage. If you want water bad enough, you can go get it from the spring instead of from the grocery store. It's out here, baby. You got to look around. So there's an artificial program. Artificial intelligence is what you have. And that artificial intelligence inside is on chronos, minutes. And so you're under this constant stress of time. And we're going to help you get over that, okay? Yes, some doors are not closed. Just can't see them from where you're standing. There you go, rhythm. That's a lyric. There you go, rhythm. That's a lyric. Okay? Keep that in your Rolodex and put that in one of your I want to hear that on the radio. Okay? I want to hear that on the radio. All right? So that's what you got to understand, man. Look, it's an old ancient understanding. I'm gonna keep repeating that. The only thing is that we have to evolve what they did, okay? Because they knew how to ascend, but again, they didn't have a good grasp on endurance. And so when you're leaving the body like this, you can't endure the time and space we're in. And so you can't be so spiritually high that you know earthly good, right? So we got to get a balance on this thing in the right way. You guys keep tapping. I'm going to keep talking. You guys keep tapping. I will keep talking. So this owner's manual is the gateway. All right. The owner's manual is the map on you. The owner's manual will give you the GPS on your life. The owner's manual gives you the seasons of your life. The owner's manual will give you the herbs and the foods that you need to eat by color. So you'll know how to go grocery shopping, shop by color. Grow by color, reds and blues and greens, and understanding that some of those things are not just colors, but they're also light absorption, but they're also minerals. You know what I mean? They're your phytonutrients, right? That's what changed it to green, the chlorophyll. Understanding the carotenes and changing it to orange, and understanding the anthocyanins, man, that are in these particular foods, but they're backed into the color. Lycopenes and terpenes, okay? They're locked up in the color. So we learn how to shop by color. So you get food colors on your owner's manual, okay? You get to know exactly where you're currently located on the map of life. So you get this diagram, something like it, and we then map you out. So you'll know, okay, I'm in Aries, but then he said I'm in Libra. Well, then now I know that that's my dual thing. So for Aries, when you're in Libra, that's still a good time for you. When Libras are in Aries, that's still a good time for the Libra. When a Gemini is in Sagittarius, that's still a good time for the Gemini. When the Sagittarius hits Gemini, that's still a good time for them because they're still experiencing something about them. They're still in alignment. Okay? Shouldn't be said we can eat our emotions. Yeah, I don't know about that. Instead of trying to eat them, you need to spit them out. I think a lot of us are already eating them. We've been already swallowing them. It's time to regurgitate. It's time to throw them up. You know, we already constipated from emotions and human hurt. You know, we already got sick at the stomach, got diarrhea from all of this human hurt. So we already too full. Instead of learning how to eat it and learning how to put anything in, that we're going to teach people how to get it out. And so these subtle tension relievers, the 21-day detox on the website is probably the best lymphatic cleanse on the planet. The lymphatic system does not have a pump, unfortunately, but it does have 4 pathways. You can use the skin, you can use the lungs, you can use the kidneys, and you can use the colon to expel excess mucus. So that 21-day detox that's on the website for that little funky measly $50 is going to be able to do that. Now, the byproduct of you eating a certain way that comes on the instructions, a fruit and vegetable diet only, the byproduct of you drinking a tea that's cleansing your lymphatic system or helping you release excess mucus is that you're going to be urinating a lot. This ain't something that's going to be making you boo-boo and run into the bathroom. Now, you will be regular, but you won't be running, okay? But you're going to be peeing because more toxins come out through urination. So we use the skin, the lungs, we use the colon, we use the kidneys, and then also we use the diet. And with that, that means that you can balance out and you can regulate your blood pressure. So if you're looking to try to get totally off meds, try the 21-day detox. If you're looking to try to get totally off of what you're doing, do the 21-day detox so that we can regulate and know that you're eating the right things. I don't want you to be trying to get off medication without having somebody change your diet. So for those that really want to get off meds, I always say do the detox because I have some kind of control of your diet because you have to go by the instructions. And the instructions are only a fruit and vegetable diet on. Okay. And then we got to know too, if you're diabetic, there may be certain things you can't eat fruit wise. If you're high blood pressure, there may be certain things you can't eat food wise. So we go through all that as well. But that is a great detox to get you started. Okay. But if you just want to bypass all of that and I just need something for my blood pressure. Go on there, type in Vitality Blend, get you your blood pressure blend. All of this stuff is 30-day supplies. Okay. If you got diabetes and you're looking for a product, go on to the website, type in sugar, and the sugar blend will come up. All of this is 30-day supply. If you just want to try my product, I know how y'all are. So, but I ask you to try yourself. You're going to pay for anything from me, get your consultation. You see, because once you get your consultation, you ain't got to deal with me no more or nobody else no more. You just ran away with your herbs. You ran away with your life lesson. You ran away with everything for $50. So, and that's what I'm trying to get y'all to see. That's what we're trying to turn into. Instead of trying to sell products, man, let's be great educators. Okay, education. Okay, so this is an educational tool. This is an educational resource that that's my product. My product is the owner's manual. It's basically it. Now, obviously, we do got those other things for people who want to bypass the system. But if you're really trying to get it and you just feel like, okay, if I get this, I don't need the doctors. I don't need to do this and do that because now I can just follow myself through life. The man done gave me the thing to where I can just now start to follow myself through life. You follow yourself through life, you become your own director of the movie. Okay? Yeah, all we can do is teach, man. You know, that's your best product. Do you know something to a high enough level? Are you professional? Are you proficient? Are you consistent at something that can bring value? The thing is that the herbs run out. So how can you create a product that doesn't run out for the particular consumer? Ain't nobody thinking about that because you want a motherfucker to keep buying from you. But I'm not worried about 100 people liking my stuff. I'm trying to serve billions of people. My goal ain't $1 billion, you guys. My goal is touch as many people as you possibly can. And you don't need to be codependent on me. So how can you make a product that can free the individual up? I can't stop you from paying bills yet until you get this enlightenment about yourself. We can't change the world until the person changes themselves. So don't be trying to, you know what I mean? Like if I ain't got a product for the world, then I still need to be in the basement. You know, if I ain't doing some shit for like Microsoft, if I ain't in the basement building some iPhone shit, if I ain't dying there, if you gonna go down there to study, you come out, that thing supposed to be for the world. Not just for black folk, not just for white folk, not just for rich folk, not just for poor folk. That thing, if you come out that basement, it's supposed to be for the world, correct? And so that's what we did. We made sure that we made something where you're not having me stuck at trying to do nothing for you. By tapping into nature, we was able to come up with the solution, which is go back to creating the cosmological and biological concept that the ancestors started but could not finish. And the only reason they could not finish it is because they had limited amount of information from the biological side. Our ancestors knew cosmology. This is what you don't know. The ancestors knew this. They didn't know biology. So they knew how to navigate. They knew how to get around. They knew how to till the ground, cultivate, colonize. They knew how to do all of that because of cosmology. So they had all the C's: colonization, cultivation, navigation, whatever else you want to put up there. They created that through this, but they didn't have a damn clue about the body biological wise. So they're going to be a limited life. But it was the start that was necessary to create the life. Now, modern man don't know shit. The ancients knew this. The modern man don't know cosmology. So how good you gonna be where you got biological stuff, you scientific, and you know all of the lymphatic system, you know down to the cell, and we know this motherfucker emit light, and you know where the blood and parasite and bacteria look through the microscope and you know all that biology, but you don't forgot your direction. They got direction, but ain't got no endurance. You got endurance, but ain't got no direction. Lord have mercy, can we fix that, please? Before I leave here, can we please fit that? For my children get grown and for everybody get gone and for the wars break out and for all the stuff that you've been reading got programmed in you before you actually bring it to flourishing because you got programmed it. So you're going to try to literally attempt to try to end the world when you can't. You can end your world. You can never end the earth. But before you attempt to do it, can we at least try to get right? Yeah, just one time, I just want to see how it feels. Don't you want to see how it feels to have endurance and direction, mankind? Or do we still want to keep half-assing and not passing along the understanding of how we evolve? They knew cosmology. We know biology. But we must merge the two together in order to evolve the human species. And this is the first wave of information coming that we're going to tap into it. I may not finish this race with you, but by God, we starting it together. How does that sound? How does that sound? We starting it together. So we know that this is about to happen because we're living it, we're hearing it, it's coming into fruition, it's on the earth, the information is here, the brother is here. If you go bypass me, you might not be able to find this, but if you go to YouTube, you can find more information out, but it's going to come through me. But at the end of the day, though, there's people that know cosmology here on the planet. There's people that know biology here on the planet. We're going to merge them together. So then that becomes more teachers. I'm just the one that's merging it. But guess what? We're going to merge these communities. These are communities of astrologers and communities of biologists. We're going to merge them together so we can show you how to create your heavenly conscious here on the earth. We ain't going nowhere. Everlasting life is through your ability to be and live long. Longevity. You get everlasting through longevity. If we can get you to 120 years, man gonna figure out how to get to 240. And when we get to 240, somebody gonna figure out how to get them to 360. Okay? That's what we're banking on. So the ancients knew cosmology, the modern man knows biology. It must come together. Okay? And so this particular system is that system that merges these two sciences and spiritual concepts as well together, and you heal through science, biology, and spirit, cosmology. Okay? Any other questions? Any other questions, you guys? If you're interested in the owner's manual, just DM us and we will get you that information. Okay? Thank you guys so much for your time. It's about an hour and 30 minutes in right now, you guys. We got about 80K. I appreciate it. There's about 130 of y'all, 120 of y'all, depending on the YouTube and TikTok thing. But we appreciate everybody in the room. Please go tell somebody, you guys. It's time, okay? It's time. And I'm going to teach you timing. I'm going to teach you timing, whether you pay for it, you're going to get it for free. If you're a video nerd, then you can research through the videos. And I'm teaching you every step of the way. So you can get this if you watch the videos, okay? If you be subscribed and get notified and just dig in and study, not me, but study what I'm teaching you, you'll get it. And just keep your notes and keep going and keep going. But at the end of the day, the brother trying to tell you that there's a way for us to understand timing in the way where we can start to see. If you're in a sixth season, then you're in a sixth season. So now we just show you how to rock with that, how to ride that wave. But if you try to do something to fight against it, sometimes what you do to get rid of this, sometimes sickness is good. because the sickness is going to be your immune system response. That response is necessary. You see, if that fibroid don't form, then that polyp is filled with toxicity that could literally toxify the blood. So you over here taking out fibroid, but what I'm trying to get you to understand here, that's saving your life. That fibroid is literally saving your blood from toxicity. So these things so sometimes you got to ride the wave to get out of it what the lesson is teaching you. You cut it short, it could be cutting you short. So we teach you these things. Okay? Control burn in the forest, kill the unwanted areas and invasive undergrowth. Thank you, Shani B. Opportunity to transform. Yes, suffering is the opportunity to transform. It is definitely that. And a lot of us don't like to suffer. So if you don't like to suffer, then obviously you don't have a whole lot of opportunities to transform. Suffering brings an opportunity for transformation. A lot of people don't like to suffer. So if you don't like to suffer, then you don't like the transformations. Suffering brings an opportunity called transformation. Some of you guys don't like suffering. So when you don't like suffering, then you don't like the opportunities. Oh, man, I'm finna go. Okay? I'm finna go, man. I'm going to get up off of this thing, man. I love you guys, man. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Please go tell somebody about your homie HerbMan. And until next time, love HerbMan. Peace, peace, peace. It's time, you guys. It's time. It's time. We're going to do it. We're already doing it.